Well, I got involved with the MISC well before it was ever existed, because there were a group of us at McGill who were very interested in getting McGill involved in public policy. Then suddenly the Bronfman family began to look interested not in us, but in funding McGill. So the faculty of management decided that this was they were going to set up a school in there. And Charles Bronfman said no, he wanted Canada.
I describe the MISC as one of the most important research institutes at McGill, which is of course a core area for the university, and amongst the most important in the country.
Well, actually I was the coordinator of the Canadian Studies program, and I suppose my first immediate involvement with MISC is that I was one of the first people to move into this building at 3463 Peel as one of the residents at MISC back in 1994.
I was finishing off my term as principal at the University of Toronto's Mississauga campus, known as Arundel College at that time. And the offer came from McGill that I should come down and be interviewed for their plan to create a new institute for the study of Canada.
So I arrived at McGill the same year as the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada was born. And being someone who studies Canadian politics and being someone who engages in interdisciplinary research, it was obvious that I was going to be involved with MISC at some point or another. And through Desmond Morton, I became aware and engaged in some of the activities of the Institute. And after that, I guess it's all history.
I first got involved in MISC about 20 years ago, right after I came to McGill. I was hired to teach in something called the Graduate Program in Communications, but they also got me involved in setting up this thing called the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada. So I was actually on the committee that hired the Institute's first director, Des Morton. I taught some of the courses in the first few years, and so I've been around as long as MISC has.
Everybody assumed that Canada had to be symbolized by a maple leaf. Well, people didn't really seem to know that there are many different kinds of maple leaves across this country. And I thought, this is also a bit boring. What I was looking for was something that broke new ground. And it occurred to me, talking to somebody once, that the bernache, as it's called in French, the Canada goose, had a very useful Canadian trait. When they go on their enormously long seasonal pilgrimages, geese that get tired or are injured go to ground. And some of the geese separate themselves and accompany their chum down to the ground.
Moi, je connais Charles depuis près de 50 ans peut-être. Et j'ai pu constater jusqu'à quel point Charles était d'une grande générosité d'abord, mais c'était un homme d'un humanisme profond.
J'ai appris une leçon super importante, moi, de Charles. La philanthropie et le don à n'importe quelle organisation, ça commence par un désir d'aider les autres, c'est jamais, jamais à propos de soi-même. Charles is magnificent in that it's always about the others, he's never in the limelight.
Charles, on this very special day, my congratulations to you for the vision you had, the determination and commitment that you've sustained over 20 years. I hope you feel as proud as we all do of what's come out of that sense of purpose that you articulated so well back over 20 years ago. Congratulations, félicitations. What a wonderful day. What a superb, superb program the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada is.
Innovative, controversial, respected, forward-looking, I hope, I think, and inclusive.
You know, I'd start with three. And these three words are important to me because these three words describe, I think, a vision for McGill today: open, connected, and purposeful. And I think that MISC is very much a model for that vision of McGill. And think about it. open, connected, purposeful.
Relevant, diverse, willing to take risks. I think that's 6 words. So there you go.
Well, there are lots of things. I mean, in the fall of 2014, we're beginning our Indigenous Studies minor. That's, I think, something long overdue at McGill. We have the Canada and the Americas initiative that really invites us to think about Canada's place in the Western Hemisphere. We've got lots of things coming up on cities, on culture. Our undergraduate program keeps adding new interesting courses, like one on Aboriginal art and culture. So there's lots of stuff, I think, these days.
Canada itself is entering a new phase of its development. We're now working towards or rapidly getting towards the 150th anniversary of Canada as a country, and I think that's going to be a huge time of reflection, and we're going to need the McGill Institute for the Study of Canada to help us prepare for that, to understand it, and to grow as a country after that.
I consider the MISC as a home for all that I think and ponder and worry and care about what it means to be Canadian and to live in this country that we call Canada.
It's been a godsend, and I think that we have to be very grateful that people like Charles Bronfman have not only produced the money to help institutions like ours, but that have really, in a way, pinpointed something that people care about.